Hey, hey, good morning, everybody. Brother Hill here checking back in with another video, man. I pray all is well. I pray you guys have been staying prayed up, getting in that word, doing some form of study, trying to increase the knowledge that you have so your awareness can be heightened and you're not being, misled or misguided in this world that we're living in. So it's vitally important that we continue to feed our mind with the word of God because what goes on the inside extract what's going on the outside. Our brains full what is happening on the outside is going to bring it to us. So I just wanted to jump right into it, man, just to carry on what I was sharing with you guys from the other day in regards to how I train myself to remember the first five books of the Bible in its order, the Pentateuch, Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. I just wrote it out simply. It says, give everyone love and not destruction. And I shared from Genesis that God is a giver. Everything in regards to Genesis is about God giving. He gave us, a kingdom extended, a colony. He gave us herbs, plants. He gave us wisdom, knowledge, understanding, king's dominion. He gave us divine judgment, divine law. He gave us a promise after Adam and Eve fell. He gave us the patriarchs, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and so on and so forth, Uncle Joseph, and all these different individuals who are in uh, Genesis that represent the love that God has. He's a giver. Love gives. And each story with each individuals, some who were in right standing, some who fell out of pocket with God. Yes, excuse me for that. Had a minor interruption, but yes, God is definitely a giver. Love gives, and it always desires to share. So it's just to get our minds wrapped around that whole purpose, of God and Him giving and creating us to share in His glory. That's why He demands so much of us to be holy, to be uprighteous, and to stay, within the right guidelines of what He set out for us to live by. His inherent laws, His inherent principles. And it just rolls us into the next one, which is in Exodus, which includes of everybody. So I just kind of highlighted a few pointers to just show you guys that everything that God does is for everybody, even using the children of Israel that He went into Egypt and saved. He took people who were slaves, who didn't have nothing, didn't know nothing, who were being domesticated uh, over among or a bigger group of people, the Egyptians, who are very powerful people in the day. So, just to kind of recap on it, to shed some light on it itself, man, that even with the birth of Moses, Moses was his purpose. One of them was to be a deliverer, but that was for the benefit of everybody. Everybody benefited from Moses being raised up as the prince of Egypt because he understood the territory, he understood the lingo, the culture, not knowing that later on in his life, at 80, he was going to go back and help deliver these people who were there from that oppression. Um, with that, him returning, that's a second chance for him because he had killed a guy, in anger in a situation that two Hebrew fellas were being mistreated poorly or badly by the Egyptian overseer, and Moses, he stood up for them and fought, but he ended up killing the guy and hide them in the sand. So God gives second chances. God gave us promises of redemption in that era. And again, it was for everybody. God gave Aaron, which was Moses' brother, to help him, to speak, to correlate verbally for him while they talked with Pharaoh and to getting the people back, or at least giving Pharaoh an opportunity to change his mind, even though he was hard headed. And then the Exodus began after they came out from the Passover, after the Passover, which is for everybody who was God people. They had insight information, some secrets. Like Jesus said, I will give to you some secrets of the kingdom, how it works, how it functions, things like that, which is really laws. And it was for everybody who God marked as his folks. And then, like I said, the journey, the Exodus, it was for everybody, even to them crossing over the river, the Red Sea, rather. And that was for everybody. It just wasn't for a handful of people. So they ate, they drank water from a rock, and all of these things. Clothes didn't wax old, clothes didn't wear out. That was for everybody, man. God is a giver, and He gives opportunity for everybody to experience His loving grace, His loving, generosity overall. And we can see that from in today's world, where we're at, everything that's going on, it stems from lack of knowledge, what God says, not the devil. It comes from our own interpersonal desires that are wicked and evil according to the laws and the principles of God. And it comes from people who, one, have their own egotistic, sinister ways of doing things that troll over people who don't have information, which is knowledge, to govern themselves, strengthen themselves in the Lord. And we as a whole group of people, have to do better educating our own selves, encouraging our own selves. When King David was going through all of that mess out there in the wilderness, he had to encourage himself in the Lord. And I to myself, you, yourself, everybody else who are around you, they have to do the same thing. Fellowshipping together is one of the most powerful tools that we have to build each other up, to sharpen each other up. But we're continuously being misled and misguided and, you know, manipulated into believing that we got to stay in this independent state. And that's one of the things the main things that are contrary to living in the kingdom, or living under the rulership and the lordship of a king, not a prime minister, not a president, not none of all of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? We in this country, specifically the United States, don't know what it's like to be under the administration of a king. And that's why God is continuously working and trying to get sinners converted into saved, born again people, and to have the people who are already saved to really stay focused in and zeroed in on studying the word, allowing the Holy Spirit, the Spirit of truth, to teach them and guide them and to elevate us into kingdom living so we can enjoy that now instead of waiting to die. Because we've been taught that, all right, well, look, once you get to heaven, everything gonna be straight. And people keep saying this, man. Look, you gotta read the end of the Bible. The Bible don't end in heaven. People that's in heaven there is waiting to be clothed back with their body so we can reign on a new earth. You dig what I'm saying? That's why it's important to read. And people continue to say these things with no insight on the full spectrum of the story, you know? But we got to do our own due diligence. I just wanted to share that today. I didn't want to hold you guys too long. And just to kind of touch bases. I don't know. Somebody may be going through something and may feel like God has kind of left them out. Somebody may be going through something that somebody's giving them false information, or they seeing something on their news feed, or their kids are, are being harassed, or you may be even being harassed on a job. Just know and trust that everything that God does is for everybody. It's not just for ourselves. It's our responsibility to seek Him, to at least want to desire to know what is right and what is true. The closing theme, should I say, something that Jesus says is that, hey man, the truth will set you free. The truth is just information, which is knowledge that you don't have, that you don't know of, that when you receive it, you get a revelation or revealing of it, and it sets you free from anybody being able to verbally give you false information to keep you in the imprisoned mind state. This is what this is all about, because people want to control other individuals. And most of the people that's in certain positions, and most of the people who don't know the position that they're in, they just acting off of impulses, off of what somebody else said, or what this one. These people are they've been controlled, manipulated themselves. You got the kingdom of light, and you got the kingdom of darkness. All right, you ain't got but two, two. That's it. So either on one or the other sides. If you read the scriptures carefully, it'll tell you that in the end times, that when the angels come in to separate everybody, like the fishers who sat on the shores and pulled up a net, caught all kinds of fish, and they separated the good ones, threw away the bad ones. Jesus says it's gonna be like that at the end of the time. He said the angels gonna come in and separate one or two people. You're gonna be either one or two. You're either gonna be wicked or righteous. And there's a whole lot of a list of stipulations that qualify you to be one of the two. It ain't never said nothing about separating the rich from the poor, the vaccinated from the unvaccinated, the black from the white, the straight head from the curly head, and the Nairobians from the Afghanians, and all, man, that's foolishness, man. Education is key. Education within the manuscript for how we supposed to be living. God is the manufacturer of all human existence, all creation. And just like any other product, you get an owner's manual or you get, a manual. It tells you how everything's supposed to function. Now, if you don't take the time to read your own owner's manual on your own life, I mean, come on, man. Even if your preachers, pastors, and bishops are saying one thing, be like those people who Paul were teaching and proclaiming the good news to. I think they were the Bereans or something like that. They shouted, clapped, shook their heads, and after they left, service was over. They went and got the scripture to go and check, cross reference everything Paul said to make sure that it was true. We got people that just say whatever and we just acquiesce to it nowadays, especially in this country. If God talks about the kingdom, he says he's a king, he created a colony, gave us rulership over. This is all kingdom talk. And then his son came and re-up everything that he said, and he talked about the kingdom publicly all day, every day, died, rose again and talked about the kingdom all day, every day, for 50 days, right? We got to do our own due diligence to figure out what it's like to live in the kingdom and to know how to operate in the kingdom. Again, it's all about abiding laws. Different than where you living at. I don't care if you're in the Philippines, in the Providence, or if you're in the United States living under the government. You know what I'm saying? You still got laws that you gotta follow. If you break the laws, you lose citizenship privileges. When you obey the laws, you get to enjoy the citizenship privileges. It's self-explanatory. I mean, you ain't gotta go to school, you know what I'm saying? Whatever kind of school that them do, seminary school they go to learn basics, self-explanatory stuff, and that's where it's at. There's a lot of people that do that. They go to school, and because they've gone to school, or because they've been rubbing shoulders with a certain group of people, you know what I'm saying, and they got this title or this background. They want to make sure that they're exalted at all costs or in their own personal way. And you can always tell. Just watch a person, man, the way that they conduct themselves with their emotions. They're gonna emote how they feel from within at all times, and you'll know if it's uh, ill or not. Some people have genuine intention, some people don't. But God always tells us, and Jesus reconfirmed it. You can tell a tree by its fruits. So I mean, it don't make no difference. It's no different than wax figures in a wax museum. They look nice, like my bishop said. They look nice, they look realistic, but on the inside, they just as good as dead. There ain't no life in them. So, man, you just keep it 100. That's all I'm saying. And my main thing is to share with you guys encouraging words, encouraging scriptures, point out some things in scriptures that you may not know. Share with you all in regards to a kingdom that represents what we seeing out here today because if ain't nobody paid attention, what's going on is really spiritual genocide that's trying to take place. What Adolf Hitler was doing back then physically is what the enemy is trying to do and accomplish spiritually. But people don't see it because tired, full, eating all the time, having sex all the time, seeking pleasure, pursuing money, not paying attention to nothing, knowing what we want to do, living in an independent state, and just, okay, not obeying the laws of life, of existence, the divine laws. You have divine laws and then you have physical laws. You still gotta abide both, but you cannot get around the divine laws, the spiritual laws that God set forth for us. And that's just key. So most people who don't experience kingdom living, kingdom lifestyle is because they're breaking law somewhere, shape, form, fashion, they're breaking it. And I had to come to realization of that for myself. So I was blessed enough by grace because I didn't do nothing because I deserved to get my just dues like other people who experience a lot of the stuff that I experienced that's not here. I've been set free to turn back to help you guys, to help my brothers and sisters in the ship. Look, like I'm fresh out of rebellion. So I've been set free from a lot of things, man, that brothers and sisters they run from, sexual things, neglect, resources, kids, all of that stuff, man. And I'm able to share with you guys. Like I'm taking it personal because you have to take it from a point to where you're like, look, man, somebody really died for me, and for me to be able to live my life effectively and efficiently, I have to do exactly what they say. That's all that they ask, and I do that by the way that I live my life. And if I can help other people along the way share some insight to keep them from making mistakes that I made, to make decisions that is costly, physically and spiritually. So, but yeah, I just want to hop on real quick, man. Share that with you guys. I pray all is well. Y'all be blessed, man. For the people who follow me and look forward to seeing the cooking, I'm continuously doing that. I'll start sharing. I'll put it in the comment section my TikTok information because I'm really gonna just kind of designate all of the cooking stuff for the most part on the TikTok page, but I'll still share a couple of shorts here and there. I'll upload them on here as shorts as well. But this is my main primary thing. Yes, I love to cook. I have a passion for cooking. Cooking for me and speaking for me is like flight to a bird and swim to a fish. It's just two things that I enjoy doing, and I don't feel complete or whole without being able to do either one. And yeah, so you'll see me post in between. And again, I mean, if you feel like this channel isn't for you, I mean, by all means, I'm not making you stay on here or do anything. But the people who is for, who enjoy it, man, look, it's a blessing. I'm glad to have your time, which is the most valuable resource that you have. And I just pray that you receive some kind of insight, something that can help you, inspire you, to add value, enrichment, or make a difference in your life. So I pray all is well, man. I catch y'all on the next one, man. Peace.